I never expected to see her here. Not in this cramped, dimly lit cafe, balancing trays and smiling at strangers. Not my stepsister, the girl I'd grown up knowing in fleeting glances and half-remembered holidays. Reduced to this working for tips, she shouldn't have to earn. The first thing that hits me is the smell, coffee and sweat, and something faintly sweet that is unmistakably her. I freeze by the entrance, staring, heart hammering like a drum in a war zone. She doesn't see me at first, hair pulled back into a messy ponytail, apron tied tightly around her waist. The softness of her jaw, the curve of her shoulder, I know them all, yet they feel foreign, intimate in a way that makes my chest ache. She laughs, low and bright, at something a customer says, tossing her head slightly, and I feel an unbearable tug-part jealousy, part longing, part guilt. How had life led her here, away from the luxury we were raised with? How had it made me, her stepbrother, feel this? Watching her like a stranger and someone I shouldn't want to see this way? I step closer, trying to steady my breathing. The wooden floor creaks under my weight, a betraying sound, and she freezes mid-motion. Our eyes meet. My chest seizes. Her gaze narrows at first, confused, and recognition dawns, bright and sharp, cutting through the dim light like a knife. "Dylan?" She whispers, her voice soft, husky, a little strained from the endless hours of work, pulls me in. I nod, incapable of words. She hesitates, then sets down the tray she's holding, wiping her hands on the apron as if she has to reclaim herself. "You? You're here," she says, and there's a tremor in her tone that I don't know how to name. Surprise? Relief? Something else. Something dangerous. I swallow hard. Yeah, I didn't expect. The words fail me. The smell of her, the closeness, the small, nervous flutter in her eyes. It's overwhelming. The cafe buzzes around us. Clinking cups, the hiss of espresso machines, chatter, laughter. And yet, I feel like we are in a bubble, suspended, separate from the world. The air thick with something unsaid, forbidden, fragile. I notice the faint scent of vanilla in her hair, the way her fingers curl around the edge of the counter like she's holding herself back. I want to reach out, to touch her, to tell her she's beautiful, but I don't. Not yet. She laughs nervously, and it's like a shard of glass through my chest. You're working here?" I manage to ask, voice tighter than I intended. She shakes her head, forcing a casual smile. No, I'm just covering for someone. One shift. But the lie hangs in the air, as fragile and tremulous as the tension between us. I step closer. "You shouldn't have to do this." My voice is low, but not calm. It's dangerous, raw. I don't know if I'm warning her, scolding her, or confessing how much it hurts to see her like this. Her eyes flicker, and for a heartbeat, I see something I can't name, before she pulls back slightly. "I'm fine," she says, too quick, too sharp, and I want to argue, to tell her she doesn't get to convince me that she's okay. But the words get stuck in my throat. I glance around, suddenly conscious of the customers and the staff, the whole world intruding on this charged, intimate moment. But even as I step back, the heat between us doesn't fade. I can feel it pulsing in the space between us, a quiet, dangerous electricity that shouldn't exist. She smiles again, hesitant this time, more guarded. "Well, since you're here, maybe you can help me?" There's a teasing edge now, the kind I remember from childhood, but sharper, laden with something unspoken. I shake my head, heart pounding. "I don't think that's a good idea." She tilts her head, and suddenly she's both vulnerable and provocatively daring. "Why not?" I catch the way her hand lingers near mine, for just a second too long, as she rearranges the cups on the counter. And I know this isn't just nostalgia or family affection anymore. This is fire. This is risk. Before I can say another word, the cafe door swings open, letting in a rush of cool air that breaks the bubble between us. I glance at her, and in that brief instant, I see both fear and longing mirrored in her eyes. Something is about to change. Something I'm not ready for. And yet, I can't leave. Not yet, because I know, deep down, that this chance encounter is only the beginning. The cafe is closing, and the hum of conversation has faded to a soft murmur. Chairs scrape against the floor. The scent of coffee lingers, sharp and bittersweet. She's wiping down tables, her movements precise, almost mechanical. But I notice the way her fingers tremble ever so slightly. I step closer, letting my presence fill the space beside her. She stiffens at first, but doesn't step away. I catch the faintest smile tugging at her lips, nervous, teasing. "You're still here," she murmurs. "I could say the same to you," I reply, voice low, almost a whisper. My eyes track her every move, the way her ponytail swings, the way her shirt clings at her shoulder, the small curve of her neck exposed as she bends over a chair. Every detail ignites something in me I don't know how to name. Desire? Guilt? A dangerous mixture of both. She glances up at me, and I swear her breath catches. "You don't have to stay," she says. But there's a challenge in her tone, a subtle invitation I can't ignore. "I want to," I say, and the words feel heavier than they should, saturated with tension. There's a pause. The silence stretches, intimate, almost unbearable. And then she leans closer, ostensibly to pick up a dropped napkin, but her proximity sends a jolt through me. Her perfume light, floral, yet intoxicating wraps around me. My hand itches to brush a strand of hair from her face, to see if she'll flinch, if she'll let me. "Dylan?" Her voice is barely more than a whisper. Vulnerable, almost trembling. And it breaks something inside me. I want to fold her into my arms, to tell her it's not fair that she's here like this. And yet, the words die in my throat. Instead, I take a small step closer. I've missed this, I admit. And immediately, I regret it, not because it's untrue, but because her reaction is unreadable. She freezes. Her eyes darken with something I can't name. A flicker of guilt? Confusion? Desire? Her fingers curl around the edge of the table, knuckles white. "This us, we?" Her voice falters. She's trying to say something, to bridge the impossible space between familiarity and something forbidden, something dangerous. I reach out, slow, tentative. Not touching her yet, just letting my hand hover near hers. Her pulse flutters under my fingertips. She doesn't pull away. My stomach twists in a way I haven't felt in years. Do you? Do you ever think about it? I ask softly, letting the words linger. About what, exactly? I don't say. About us, about her, about the line we shouldn't cross, but can't seem to resist. Her lips part, and I see her chest rise and fall faster than it should. She stops. A customer's laughter echoes from the outside, grounding us momentarily in reality. But the tension doesn't dissipate. I step closer, just a fraction, until the space between us is charged, dangerous. Our eyes lock, and I swear the world outside ceases to exist. She's here, in front of me, yet somehow unreachable. And still, everything about her screams possibility. I shouldn't. She whispers, voice tight, almost pained. But I can't. Her fingers brush mine, ever so lightly, while she sets down a cup. Electricity sparks in that single touch. A tiny shock that lingers, daring, teasing. I swallow hard. My chest aches. We can't, I say, but it's a lie. A lie my body refuses to believe. And then just as quickly as it started, the cafe door swings open again. The night air rushes in, breaking the bubble, scattering the tension like leaves in a storm. A customer lingers, asking about takeout, and reality slams back. She straightens, nervous again, her hands trembling as she adjusts her apron. "I have to finish closing," she says, voice clipped, controlled. But there's an edge of desperation beneath it. I nod, reluctantly stepping back. "Yeah, of course." But as I watch her move across the cafe, carrying trays, stacking chairs, everything casual and yet charged, I know this isn't over. This isn't just a fleeting, awkward encounter. There's a thread now, thin and taut, connecting us, pulling us toward something we both fear and crave. When she finally heads toward the back to lock up, I follow, almost without thinking. The dim hallway smells of cleaning supplies and old wood, a stark contrast to the warmth of the main room, yet somehow intimate, private. My heart hammers in my chest. "Dylan," she says again, and this time it's a plea, vulnerable, honest. My name on her lips feels like a promise and a warning all at once. The world falls away. Only her, only me, only the space between us that neither of us wants to cross, and yet neither of us can resist. And just as I step closer, daring, testing the edge of the impossible, she turns abruptly, disappearing into the shadows of the storage room, leaving me alone with my pulse hammering and a single thought echoing in my mind. This isn't over. Not by a long shot. I find her in the storage room, crouched by a stack of boxes, tying her shoelaces. The dim light flickers above, casting shadows across her face, softening it, making her look smaller, fragile, impossibly human. My chest tightens at the sight. I can't remember the last time I saw her like this outside of the cold, perfect world of our family gatherings, where we were always guarded, polite, distant. She looks up at the sound of my footsteps. Her eyes widen, startled, then narrow, scanning me like she's deciding if I'm friend or danger. "Dylan." Her voice trembles, softer now, closer. I step into the cramped space, and the air shifts between us, warm, tense, electric. I'm hyper-aware of everything. The slight sheen of sweat on her forehead, the faint scent of vanilla that lingers in her hair, the brush of fabric against her shoulder. I want to reach out, to touch her, but I hesitate. One wrong move, one word too many, and everything could shatter. "You didn't have to stay," she murmurs, pulling her knees to her chest, wrapping her arms around them. She looks smaller somehow, and I realize I've never wanted to protect anyone more in my life. I wanted to, I admit, voice barely audible. My fingers twitch, aching to close the distance. "I've missed this. Missed you." Her lips part slightly, and I see it's something raw, unfiltered, impossible to ignore. Vulnerability, desire, confusion. "Dylan, we shouldn't." Her words falter, swallowed by the heat between us. I move closer, slowly, deliberately, letting her see that I'm not a threat. Not yet. My hand hovers near hers, trembling as she doesn't pull away. She's daring me to cross the line, yet begging me not to. My heart pounds. My breath hitches. I can't stop thinking about you. I confess, my voice breaking raw. Not since. Ever. Not since I falter. Step-siblings, forbiddens, dangerous, and yet it's true. Every look, every memory, every fleeting touch as kids, they all come back now. Sharpened, magnified, dangerous. She swallows hard, lips glistening in the dim light, and I realize she feels it too. The pull, the tension, the unspoken longing. Her hand trembles as it brushes mine. The touch is fleeting, but it's enough. Enough to send a shock through me. Enough to ignite something that can't be put out. "Dylan?" She whispers, voice catching. I shouldn't. Her words are weak against the fire in her eyes. I can't wait any longer. Slowly, painfully, I close the distance between us. My hand finds her cheek, trembling, hesitant, and she leans into the touch, just slightly. The contact is electric, intimate, forbidden. Every nerve in my body is alive, screaming, aching. I can't stop myself, I admit. Lips so close to hers that I can feel her breath, hear the quickened rhythm of her heartbeat. I want you. Her eyes flutter closed for a brief moment, a shiver passing through her body, and then she opens them, searching mine, desperate, vulnerable, daring me to continue. I feel it too, she admits, voice barely audible, breaking the dam we've held for so long. I lean in slowly, savoring every second, every heartbeat, the raw intimacy of the moment. Our lips meet in a tentative brush, a whisper of a kiss that sends a jolt through both of us. It's electric, consuming, and yet painfully incomplete. We pull apart almost immediately, gasping, trembling, the tension thick enough to choke on. She presses her forehead against mine, breath mingling, eyes closed, and I feel everything. Desire, fear, longing, guilt, exhilaration. This shouldn't happen, she whispers. No, I agree, voice low, hoarse. But it does, and I can't fight it anymore. Her hand finds mine again, fingers entwining, a silent vow of what we're about to risk, what we've already begun. The moment is perfect, fragile, terrifying, and then the distant sound of a door opening snaps us back to reality. A staff member clearing tables. The spell breaks. She steps back, panicked, adjusting her apron, her hair falling in messy waves around her face. We can't, she says, voice trembling. Not here. Not now. I nod, reluctantly stepping back, though my heart refuses to calm. I know, I whisper, but we'll figure it out, somehow. Her eyes linger on mine for a long moment before she disappears into the main cafe area, leaving me standing alone, pulse racing, skin tingling from the ghost of our kiss. And I know, with a certainty that terrifies me, nothing will ever be the same. We've crossed a line, and there's no going back. The night air hits me as I leave the cafe, sharp and cold against my skin, but inside, I'm burning. My thoughts are a storm, circling her, every memory, every touch, every heartbeat pulling me towards something I shouldn't want, yet can't resist. I can't stay away. I find myself wandering toward her apartment, heart hammering in my chest like a drum. The hallways smell faintly of old carpet and perfume, familiar yet strange, and when I knock, I hear the soft shuffle of her steps before the door opens. She's in a sweater that swallows her petite frame, hair loose, tousled from a long day. Her eyes widen at my presence. Dylan. What? I needed to see you, I interrupt, voice low, almost desperate. I can't stop thinking about you. Her lips part, and I see the vulnerability again, raw and exposed. Dylan, this is dangerous. We can't. I step closer, ignoring her protests, drawn like a moth to flame. My hands brush against hers, tentative at first, then with purpose. I know, but it doesn't matter. Not anymore. I can't pretend that it doesn't exist. Her breath hitches, and she looks away, then back, torn between defiance and surrender. You're my stepbrother. This is insane. I reach for her face, cupping her jaw, tilting it toward mine. Insane or not, it's real, and I won't apologize for it. Not when it's you. Her body shivers against the brush of my hand, the weight of desire and fear colliding. Dylan, she whispers, almost a plea, almost a warning. I press my forehead to hers, breathing mingling, hearts racing in sync. "Do you feel it too?" I ask, voice hoarse. "Yes," she admits, tremulous. "God." "Yes. But we can't." I close the distance, letting my lips brush hers in a tentative, teasing kiss. She gasps, pulling back slightly, trembling, and I see the fight in her eyes, the desperate struggle against the pull that neither of us can resist. "I don't care," I whisper. "I don't care about rules. I don't care about danger. I care about you." Her eyes glisten with unshed tears, and she leans into my chest, hiding her face, and for a moment, the world collapses into this room, into this single heartbeat, into the vulnerability between us. I wrap my arms around her, holding her close, feeling her tremble, feeling the fragile line we're crossing. "I shouldn't be here," she murmurs against my chest. "But I want you." "Then let me," I say, and the words are both command and promise. My hands trace the curve of her back, the warmth of her skin against mine, and every shiver she gives me is a silent confession, an unspoken surrender. She meets my gaze, eyes dark with need and fear. "Dylan, if we do this, there's no turning back." "I know," I whisper, "and I don't want to." We move together in a rhythm that's slow, deliberate, testing boundaries, learning each other again. Every brush of lips, every whispered name, every touch is electric, consuming. It's dangerous, forbidden, exhilarating, and I can feel it breaking her down in the best and worst ways. Her hands clutch my shirt, trembling, pulling me closer. My hands cradle her face, slide down to her waist, holding, grounding, daring. The tension between dominance and surrender, control and abandon, reaches a fever pitch, and neither of us can speak anymore. I can't. She breathes, body pressed against mine. I'm scared. "Me too," I admit, voice low, husky. But I've never been more sure of anything in my life. The walls close in. The world disappears, and there's only us. Desire, vulnerability, trust, and the undeniable pull of something we both have tried to deny. And then, before we can give in fully, the sound of a knock at her door stops us cold. My heart skips. Her body freezes against mine. Reality crashes in, sharp, cruel, reminding us of the world outside our stolen sanctuary. She steps back, trembling, tears sliding down her cheeks. "They're here." "My roommate," she whispers, voice tight with panic. I take a step back, chest heaving, eyes locked on hers. "We'll finish this," I promise, voice low, desperate. "Soon, I swear." She nods, swallowing hard, trying to regain composure, and pulls her sweater tighter around her. The tension between us hasn't lessened. It's only grown, sharper, heavier. Unrelenting as the door opens and her roommate calls out from the hallway. I stand there, my hands still tingling from where they touched her, my mind ablaze with what we've just shared. The first layer of restraint is gone. The boundary is crossed. And I know without doubt that nothing will ever be the same. Tonight, we've broken the dam. And soon, the flood will follow. The apartment is quiet now, the night pressing against the windows like it wants to listen, to witness. I can feel her presence in every shadow, every whisper of air, and my pulse is relentless, echoing in my ears. She's standing by the kitchen counter, arms crossed, staring at the floor. Her hair falls loose around her face, catching the soft glow of the lamp. There's vulnerability there, yes, but also defiance. And I know that even now, after everything, she's holding herself back, afraid of what surrendering would mean. "I can't," she whispers, voice trembling, almost breaking. "Dylan, if we cross this line, everything will change." I step closer, slow, deliberate, letting the weight of my gaze anchor her. I know, I say, voice low, hoarse. I don't care. Not about rules, not about what anyone else thinks. I care about you. Only you. Her eyes glisten in the soft light, the battle between fear and desire raging visibly in them. You're my stepbrother, she murmurs, shaking her head, a whisper against the hush of the apartment. This shouldn't feel like everything I've ever wanted. I close the distance, so close that her breath mingles with mine. It does, I whisper back. I can't fight it anymore. And I don't want to. Her body trembles as I reach for her hands, sliding my fingers through hers. The warmth, the electricity, the undeniable pull, it's intoxicating. She leans into me, a whisper of surrender, and my chest aches with the force of it. Dylan, she breathes, voice cracking. I'm scared. Me too, I admit, my forehead resting against hers. But we're in this together. We'll figure it out. I promise. Her hands move to my chest, fingers clutching my shirt, as if holding me they will keep the world from intruding. Every heartbeat, every shiver, every tremble is a confession. She's giving me pieces of herself she's never given anyone. I brush a strand of hair from her face, tracing the line of her jaw with my thumb. I want you, I whisper, letting the words hang in the air, heavy and raw. Her eyes flutter closed as she leans into my touch, trembling. I want you too, she admits. And the sound of her voice is like fire, like water, like everything I've been holding in for years, finally pouring free. I close the space between us, lips meeting hers in a kiss that starts slow, teasing, testing, and then deepens, consuming electric. Every touch, every sigh, every gasp is a testament to the years of restraint, of longing, of forbidden desire, that we break apart only to collide again, bodies pressed, hearts racing, breaths mingling. Her hands find my neck, pulling me closer, and I cradle her face, memorizing every curve, every flicker of emotion, every heartbeat. This is insane, she whispers between kisses. But it feels right. Yes, I murmur, voice rough. Exactly, right. Time becomes meaningless. Every brush of skin, every stolen kiss, every whispered confession weaves us together, inescapable, undeniable. The world outside ceases to exist. There's only us, only this moment, only the fragile, perfect danger of what we've finally allowed ourselves to feel. She pulls back slightly, resting her forehead against mine, eyes wide and glistening. Promise me something, she whispers. Promise me we won't lose ourselves in this. That we'll be careful. I cup her face, thumb brushing her cheek. I promise. But I can't promise I'll let go. A small, shaky laugh escapes her lips, and I feel it deep in my chest. Good, she murmurs, because I don't want you to. The tension breaks, replaced by something tender, something enduring. The fear, the longing, the guilt, they're still there, hovering, but now tempered by trust and a raw, unshakable connection. We hold each other in the soft glow of the apartment, breathing, shivering, alive. The night stretches around us, silent witness to the choice we've made, the boundary we've crossed, and the undeniable truth that neither of us will ever be the same dot. And in that moment, I realize some things are worth the risk. Some lines are meant to be crossed. Some love dangerous forbiddens. Impossible is meant to be lived. We don't know what tomorrow will bring or how the world will react. But right now, in this fragile, perfect cocoon of warmth and desire, we are free. And I know one thing with absolute certainty. I will never let her go.